on my mind. She stays on my mind. Then we build it up, just to let it wash away. Tell me, did I lace you up, just to watch you run away?
Who cares? I got pizza.
Oh, who's getting all my love? Who's getting all my love? Oh, who's getting all my time? All of that used to be mine. No.
I'm not going to play chess because I have my. It's not. I mean, table games dealing audition tomorrow, but I've already dealt. So it's more just to make sure I'm familiar with a few changes, probably. But either way, I cannot play chess all night and show up exhausted. My lively personality is half my appeal. Everyone can count to 21. So probably getting back into online chess tomorrow night. Maybe Wednesday instead. Haven't decided. Part of my mission with chess is to prove anyone can learn at any age. My granny could play a chess game. At what level, I don't know. If granny ever wants to play for real, I'll create her an account. But there are levels to chess. I strongly believe, like, what was that guy's name? The chess penguin guy? He's not known as a... He's a streamer. He calls himself Penguin Z or something. I forget his name. He probably played in PogChamps. Moist Critical. Charlie, that's right. Charlie. I could turn Charlie into an 1800 level chess athlete. I'll do it for free. Online. Because of... And this is America's fault. But that's what affected me. That's what led me to chess. Never would have had the free time had it not been for lockdown and a weird job situation with no referral. It basically says Americans can't learn. They spin it however you want. Of course, it's not that black and white, but essentially, Americans are too dumb to learn, which I'm a big fan of America, thankful to live here, very thankful for our veterans, and President Donald J. Trump, who is a chess guy. But replace Americans with anyone can't learn. And it just makes me very angry. There's a reason freedom of speech is good. Some think it would be great to have complete control until there's riots and absolute mass violence and chaos. The next most dangerous thing to taking away people's freedom of speech is making people believe we cannot learn something new. Because if we don't think we can learn, we will stay in an awful abusive relationship. We will stay at a job that makes us miserable and gives us a heart attack. And I like my old job, but the circumstances, mainly this, it's not something I would be proud to tell my mom I'm doing, which, life can be mean, but I don't want to lie at family dinner. I'm proud of my son. You don't know what I actually do to people, Mom. I don't want to do that for my whole life. And that was my alternative because of this stupid thing. And it affects a lot of people when America lets it get this bad. It creates unnecessary arguments. Well, Americans don't take pride in intellectual pursuits. I agree, but not everybody. I like to learn. Well, only Indians are good developers. No, just like in chess, Indian had a pipeline that developed chess talent. There's no way to prove the Indian super grandmasters are any more naturally gifted than many Americans who go to university. But either way, if we don't believe we can learn, it can create a very sad world. And aside from that Charlie guy and many others who I doubt they have the potential that this guy does, there's a lot of poker minds and chess minds. There's a lot of correlation. Good poker players, good chess players, vice versa. That Charlie guy probably doesn't have this type of potential. But I could absolutely turn Charlie without a ridiculous amount of time invested, as long as he's consistent. 1800. Rapid time control online chess. I've already made all the stupid mistakes, and I've done a ton of things right because I got to learn systems. I've taken a lot of lectures at the fabulous St. Louis Chess Club. I could turn Charlie into 1800. Anyone at PogChamps that wants to, 1800. It might not be the smoothest. It might not be the way a chess grandmaster would prefer to teach a student, and it might not set you up for a future in chess. But I'll get your ass to 1800 online. Look at Tyler Wan. He doesn't play right. He's very strong online. Now, it is shocking. This is obviously a highly... I don't want to misspeak, actually. I don't know much about poker. I, of course, know how to play. I wouldn't even be a good amateur at casinos around St. Louis. But I assume there's a lot of intellect involved in being very elite poker players. Maybe not. A lot of strong chess players say they might not have the highest IQ, like Hikaru Nakamura has said in many streams I've seen. It's about spatial awareness, pattern recognition, not necessarily being what most consider smart. I don't know. They know better than me, I'm sure. But I have to think this guy has a lot of potential. Still, I checked his rating from time to time, and I expect it to be a lot higher. Like, I expected him to be at least 1,400 by now at the pace he used to be playing at, which was not as much as me, which good for him. Don't waste your life. But it was enough. But he seems to be around 1,200. Not moving up fast. I'm just going to hold my pizza awkwardly. He's playing a good amount. See, it's more about being obsessive than naturally smart. Yeah, he's obsessed. I wonder how he's reviewing and stuff. So he didn't count captures correctly. Yeah. Chess. I wonder if poker players train alone. I'd be curious to know that, actually. You have to, I mean, if you're an elite athlete of any sort, you're practicing. So I don't know how you train. But a big part of it as an adult is going to be the willingness to isolate your ass for long periods of time. He started at 0. I wonder if he'd ever played chess before. That's one to follow, though. That's one that you'd expect might not just be another like checkbox, as I would use. I hate to say use, but that Charlie and anyone, my friends. I've tried to recruit a few of them, but they have families and stuff, so it's hard. I don't want to do it. But there are people that would just check a box. Yeah, it's possible. 1,800. And then there are people that I could see just getting like 2,100 or more. And that's people like me, Tyler Wan, this guy. Adults that never played, but have some past experience that could be relevant. Like Tyler Wan, of course, gaming. I think he's a pretty good League of Legends player. I don't know shit about League of Legends. I hate those games. Never liked them. mean, maybe if I could go back in time as a kid when I had nothing but time and play them, I'd like it, but I would never, ever get back into it. The only game I would go hard at is Call of Duty, and more specifically zombies on Call of Duty, because I already have a good foundation. I'm pretty solid, but I would never like play Call of Duty live. Get my ass kicked forever. But chess, I did work in systems. A lot of carryover in building systems. Actually, the more I think about it, tactics or short-term execution and then long-term planning / strategy, that's systems, man. I mean, you're debugging individual programs. I never really wrote. I mean, I made it like say hello world, but I can't write good code. I can read the shit out of it though. I debugged a lot of stuff. How many hours have I spent in an SAP debugger? I'd estimate at least 500. Watching it or doing it. So in systems, you have the roadmap or the planning, looking at the landscape. Different systems are going to talk to each other and shit. It's like chess strategy. What's going to do what? I was the technical expert I got to work with a little bit. I mean, he was way above me. One of the smartest motherfuckers in the world. He was good, and he was very kind, very good at explaining. That's why that H-1B program, I hate even talking about it because some Americans, they all suck. We're racist, and not most Americans are like that, but some will be. They don't want to think about it. They're all bad. Like, no, some of them are brilliant. That's why America can't get stupid. It affects a lot of people when you do. So I learned from him about small systems, long-term planning. Got to work with other teams at a big company to make sure it doesn't impact them. Change management is also a long-term thinking deal. Got to know those people, how transports move and shit. And then the individual programs, testing the transports step by step. That's chess tactics, man. So that's why I would be another lunatic, and I mean that in the most complimentary sense ever. I don't ever mean to be mean. I know some chess people talk about being called nerds. I mean it as a compliment. I think it's sad, especially the older I get, and I was always this way. I'm just athletic, and my dad pushed me to physical sports. I was pretty good at it for my area, so I never really did the nerdy things like band, chess, etc. And I wish I had, because I haven't used my body at all. My body's made me no money. And even LeBron James, he's 40 now. He's not going to last a lot longer at the top, but he can play chess forever. So be nice to nerds. There's the point here. You might end up being a doctor or a super grandmaster one day. People like that, once it clicks. And I don't know that chess has really clicked for me yet. Online it has. Because online there, even if you understand long-term strategy at a master level, I don't know that you're automatically good online. Whereas someone who does understand long-term thinking, let's say it's like a master and he just doesn't have great tactical vision for a master, or he's not quick with it, he or she. So I'm still going to lose if it's a master. But that's a weakness online. Whereas over the board, a master, no matter what, or even an expert, they're going to pick me apart if you give them enough time. Online chess is not that way. So it has clicked for me online. But over the board, I don't think so, because when I play really good players and they really have time to think, they get me in situations that I can't figure out yet. So we'll keep an eye on them. Big potential. We're going to call it our big potential folder. And this is the type of guy, if you do as much online chess as this guy did, this was absurd. There's no way he's not going to wake up one morning in the not too distant future. And just like, I mean, tortured minds are all the same to some extent. If nothing else, we never stop thinking. We don't just go to sleep. One of my good friends from my first college, who was an engineer at Purdue, and now he's obviously grown up and working, He texted me at like 2 a.m. last night, out of the blue. I mean, we talk about every month, and he had discovered this app called Grok, which I wasn't aware. And he sent me a transcript of the conversation with, I think it's Ava, which is the AI assistant within the Grok app. And it was amazing. He's like, dude, it's teaching me, I forget which programming language he was learning, but he's obviously competent. And I think it's called like Maglev, some engineering coding language that he obviously is most comfortable with. What is it they use at NASA? I think it's used at NASA and some others. It's like MATLAB. Yeah, I don't know. All I know is ABAP. But I'm sure that's a good foundation for others. And he was learning probably one of those. And he sent me the transcript, and this thing was quizzing him. It was understanding the weaknesses in his explanations, even if they were minor, and rating them. And it was amazing. And so I used it to teach me the King's Indian Defense. And I had that transcript. I wish I had my phone on me. I would read it. It was absurd. My point is, my engineer friend, the fact that he's up at 2 a.m., like, dude, this is a cool app. And of course, I'm up too because I can't sleep. And I reply, don't ever think you're keeping me up because I want to hear about this. And I'm going to be testing this all day tomorrow. Those are the minds that figure chess out. And that's got to be how this man is. I watched some of his YouTube videos, especially his trailer. It's fucking intense. And again, Tyler Wan is going to wake up one morning and he is going to play chess like he did for what got him here, which was an absurd amount of chess, even more than me per day. And when you look at my account, especially with Rapid, I would go up, down, spiral out of control, get back, and then it would just be crickets. Because I realized I had to force my brain to stop, and I found creative ways to do that. And maybe another advantage for brains like this is like a lot of streamers spiral. Online chess is just that way. You rage, or what's the term? It's not rage when the streamers spiral. It's it's not rage. Streamer rage. It's not going to come up, but it'll come to me later. But when most rage is just like, oh, it sucks. Like she's gone down. She was up to 2002. Now she's back down 1817. She was 1666. I don't sense that her brain is like mine. Not to say she couldn't get better at chess than me. I think she had some minor foundation before COVID. In fact, if I had to take bets, I would bet on a chess athlete like this to be better than someone like me. But my upside is way ridiculously higher because I'm a lunatic and I can't stop. Like she's still smiling, even though she's not back to her peak. I haven't fucking smiled since. That's a brain that if we stay out of prison and suicide, will master chess. So I'm a big potential folder. Surely there'll be more. And one of the reasons I will always tag chess.com, I think it's a fabulous app. In my live stream and stuff, though I would never want anything to do with them after the way they treated Neiman. Because how you treat people that can't help you or you don't think can help you says a ton about a person. I'm not saying I'm an angel. Certainly not. But I see Neiman. I see myself in Hans Niemann more than anyone would understand unless they really knew me, like a childhood friend that visited me when I had to sell my house and stuff during lockdown. I don't want anything to do with chess.com, but I love their app. I love their app for entertainment, a replacement to social media, a lot of positive aspects, meeting and connecting with people, and learning if an athlete does not have access to a chess club. Chess.com is great. Why would we ever want anything bad to happen to people unless they really fuck us? I don't want chess.com to go out of business or anything. I'm fine if they do good. But I want their logo. I don't ever want anything to do with them or their logo near my fucking streams. I'd rather not stream. I want to be a chess player. And as I've said many times, we should be overly enthusiastic when making friends, when dating, when finding our interests online, which is going to be the future. Everyone's going to have to do this to some extent with AI and tools like Grok coming out. In business, whatever, we should be overly enthusiastic. What's wrong with him? Why does he not have any friends? Why is he all? What's he suspicious? And then, if a person doesn't give us a chance, or a company tries to take advantage of our loyalty, interest, I'm the type that, well, what happened? He was all about it. He liked that girl. He liked that company. He liked that app. And now it's just nothing. You think if someone's just like obsessed with something, even if he or she doesn't always love it, it'll be like a phasing out. Nope. That's how I work in all aspects of life. Don't ever speak to me again. Yesterday, you were all about it. You pushed me past my tipping point. Hans Niemann was my tipping point. Deuces. I'll still play. I hope your app grows. And selfishly, I want it to grow. I want to introduce people to it to see if my climb of Chess Mountain is actually impressive. Because just like women in chess, it's a volume game. And if we get more adults, especially adults like that are, professional athletes, quarterbacks would be another good example. Retired Tom Brady. He never stopped. If I can get as many people to try as possible, and some will fall by the wayside, some will not have the ability. I mean, there is some talent aspect to anything. And some might exceed what I'm going to do, which is, I don't see any reason, even without a lesson, I can't reach 2,200 online. But I need numbers on this shit. And most adults are not going to have the time or interest to drive to a chess club once a week, especially if they don't live near one. Like if it's 2 cities over or something, I'm not going to do that. But online I can measure it. Okay, as for my chess journey, online is for show. Online is mostly for show, and of course I care about my rating. But we can get away with some major mistakes. And sometimes they're even better. Online tricks people. This is what I care about. As I mentioned, I'm the type of person, when you push me past my tipping point, when Alexander Botez doesn't reply to my compliments long enough, I'm out. I'm serious about that. I'll marry you. What's wrong with him? I gotta test him. He's fucking crazy, probably. Sorry. I'll recommend you to a friend. I don't do it. That's 1,800 USCF for my chess brain. I will not quit. This is another great life lesson I've learned. I recommend living this way. I don't know. It's too risky. Or I'm married. Okay, how much money do you have saved? Can you try it for this long? Whether that's 1 year, 2 years, whatever. And if that amount of time is not enough, don't do it. Fortunately, I was single again. I had nothing but time during lockdown. And I had a ton of money saved from corporate America. So it was a good thing for me. But if I'm not going to give myself an endless amount of time. Like if I never get a sponsor or my content doesn't monetize more, I will just do it casually for fun. Like I'm going back to the casino. But 1,800 is that number for me. It's my amount of time that I've already invested enough in my life. I would not just stop at 1,500. 1,800 is a good club player by USCF descriptions. So I will get to 1,800 USCF. And if it's difficult, like if it takes me until the end of this year, which now people think of progress as linear. No, very rarely. Even overnight success stories like Tom Brady won a Super Bowl. Where'd he come from? He's in Michigan. No one wanted him. He barely got drafted. Yeah, but there was all that work. There was all those before he was big and had supermodels after him and shit. There was all those Friday nights. Can you turn the lights on for me? It didn't just happen. And that's what my chess is I've done ridiculous numbers of puzzles with grandmasters, even at the club. I've listened to how they talk about adult improvers. I have gotten advice where my weaknesses be. Let's say hypothetically, no one asks this good of questions. And this is where I would have some advantage over kids, at least temporarily, is I have had more life experience. I've worked in the corporate world, so I know I've asked stupid questions. I've looked like an idiot, and now I know how to prepare. That's my huge advantage. Okay. Of course, we're all going to say, especially chess people that know what they're doing and have seen adults fail, an adult cannot become a grandmaster, aside from Susan Polgar. But let's say an adult could become a grandmaster. These types of questions I go to. What would my weaknesses be? What would be impossible? What could I never make up for? Because I missed out on all those years as a kid. Well, here's what you did: mainly tactics and speed of which we solve complicated tactical positions. Okay, what could I do better? Really nothing. I mentioned preparation, but once a kid is a young adult, prepare that much for chess. At least you're going to prepare fine. I might have no advantage, but you got to think that way. And I will get to 1800 so much faster than I went from whatever 1200 to 1500. Even though when we're lower rated, an argument can be made we should improve our rating quicker because there's just more upside. 1800 will come quick. And then if I get it quick and it's not like pulling teeth, I might hire a full-time coach. Again, I have really no expenses in life, and I'm going to build up my finances. Dealing cards, I love dealing cards. I might even ask for more hours. Keep my mind off chess. I can replay positions while my table's dead. And then we'll see. We'll see. But not going to stop till 1800. $15.05. They have not rated my March 9th performance yet. I say my, like it's my tournament. I didn't even win it. Tied for second with a lot of people. Sad result. So put me around 1530. And my goal for April is to finish over 1600 USCF, which is doable. Very doable. So expect until St. Louis Chess Club's monthly tournament is April 18th. If I'm not working, I'm going to play in it. I'm probably just going to grind online, not a lot per day, but very consistently. One, to get my mind right. I'm going to print out every rapid game, probably one blitz, one rapid per day, back to back. Get my mind under control so I don't downward spiral. That's the thing. You got to avoid big drops online because it takes time to get it back. Time you could be reading, studying pawn structures, etc. Going to the club if you live near one. And then I will play that tournament. Hopefully that'll put me over 1600. I'll be playing up in the open section, so all I have to do is okay, and I would get that rating boost, 70 points easily. And then I will be completely healthy, completely rested. I'll be hopefully in a groove with my job to where I know everything. I know all the games. I don't have to spend any mental energy on those things. If anything, it relaxes me for chess. And then May will be a breakthrough month. Maybe even just 1800. We'll see. I'm out. Expect me online. Definitely later this week, if not tomorrow, or I guess tonight, Tuesday night.